Hi, I'm Bob Ansch, a senior editor of CE Pro Magazine, and today I am speaking with Jordan Ferree of American Lighting. Jordan, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right, Bob. Good to talk to you.
Thank you for hopping online with me. We're going to have a pretty good discussion. We're going to talk about lighting technologies and specifically DALI-2 and DMX.
Great.
All right, let's get right into this. My first
Sure.
question is, lighting continues to grow within the smart home industry. Dealers are increasingly encountering lighting terms such as DALI-2 and DMX. Can you briefly outline what these protocols are?
Sure, absolutely. So both protocols are lighting control protocols. In compared to other systems in the commercial side, like building management, like KNX, BACnet, LawnWorks, Modbus. Um, DMX stands for Digital Multiplex 512. So it is a protocol system that evolved from the entertainment industry, um, largely with a focus on real-time communication with lights, machines, motors, and whatnot. And now it is currently in ANSI standard. Um, Meanwhile, DALI, digital addressable lighting interface, commercial system kind of coming out of the 90s that evolved out of the commercial 0 to 10 volt systems. So two-wire communication protocol really evolved to focus on manufacturer interoperability, and is currently an IEC standard.
Okay, thank you. How do these terms impact integrators in the field as the increase on lighting in the smart home industry continues to grow?
Sure. So directly impacting the integrators is going to be essentially the topology of the control system that they're using. So that control system is going to have proprietary limitations. It'll have proprietary, panel to panel communication, but also, panel to peripheral communication. So that essentially will be the guiding force. So some manufacturers are going to be focused on DMX. Some manufacturers are going to be focused on DALI, like say Lutron, and then DMX. You can say maybe not a focus, but Crestron has a DMX module. So that's going to be the large push that's going to force integrators to get to know both, especially ones that are used to branching outside of just a single control system. One of the biggest impacts they're going to be is both are focused on granular control, or essentially individual control of the luminaires and reprogrammability of where they are. Um, Color control being a big portion of DMX always has been. Now with DALI-2, which is an expansion of the original DALI setup, we're getting the same level of color control. And that's where we're kind of getting this, not clash, but at least confusion between the two. Hopefully that makes sense.
Okay, it's a perfect segue into my next question. I'm sure you get this question all the time. Can dealers create hybrid systems that mix DALI-2 and DMX?
Absolutely. My big thing is porque no los dos. So each one has benefits, drawbacks that aren't just programming or what do I get with DMX? What do I get with DALI? Some, especially DALI side, have massive advantages for the pre-wire setup, the wiring, the topology, really making it easier on the integrator. And where DMX has much more advantage with real-time control, that color feedback, that instant reliability that you're used to seeing. So using the strengths of each one is absolutely essential in the future market with DALI-2 and DMX in the same industry.
Okay, you alluded to the pros of mixing the two protocols. What are the cons that dealers may run into?
Uh, the easiest con is getting confused of which line is which. The topologies are vastly different. DMX being very much a, start at the control unit, and I daisy chain my devices in one big series connection. And yes, I can use splitters to kind of like create, tree type topologies, but it is still very much, source to end. DALI does not have that limitation. So it is a, universal non-polarity, non-topology based system. So they can wire in and out, two wires, doesn't matter if you mix and match, where that would be catastrophic in a DMX system. You're given a lot more freedom. However, DALI can interconnect, their lights and peripheral devices, sensors, whether daylight, occupancy, wall stations. DMX is very much lighting. All those peripheral devices are proprietary communications back to a main home panel. So mixing up that two is going to be your drawback. So proper planning is going to be the key. Lots and lots of pre-wire setup.
Okay, and my final question related to the mixing of these protocols. Can you summarize the benefits to not only dealers, but to also their homeowner clients of mixing these two protocols to create one lighting control system or lighting
Absolutely.
system?
Um, we could kind of start with the homeowner. DALI is designed for and very much certified products regarding interoperability. Every product type behaves exactly as the other product type. So as long as the control manufacturer has those features, the homeowner can be assured any DALI-2 device getting swapped out or future developments are going to be practically interchangeable. So that long-term investment and reliability is always going to be there. Um, DMX is a universal communication protocol, but there's no standards essentially of how that fixture should behave. So I often use a example where a certain manufacturer has a DMX footprint where it behaves as individual color control, a red, green, blue, cool white, warm white. You can swap that out with another manufacturer DMX fixture, so it goes right in line. But this one now is controlled via a different platform requiring complete reprogramming. It could be intensity, color, hue, and saturation. Absolutely different values. So now you have to bring in different programmers to come in, some experts to re-get that set up, where you're not going to have that much for the DALI side, aside from the general addressing, of course. But using the interoperability and reliability of DALI can kind of make everyone feel safe that we've established the topology of the future, and now it's just device integration, similar to like a Zaga in a way. But if you're going for true color real-time control and feedback, the data speed and communication of DMX is unprecedented. So that could be useful for pixel-based lighting control systems where we're going away from just static color changing or circadian general lighting control. We're going into what we call architainment or architecture entertainment features. So imagine dancing pixel walls. That is going to be DMX. DALI not built for that system. So utilizing two properly with proper planning, homeowner and the integrator gets the wow factor and the reliability both.
Okay, thank you. My final question, bringing this back around to American Lighting. What sort of support mechanisms does American Lighting offer dealers as they start investigating and installing these systems that are using these protocols to ensure that they get the most out of their installed lighting systems?
Sure. And essentially it comes into our a very experienced inside and outside team who are used to these different types of protocols, who fundamentally know, color changing lighting. American Lighting has been a color changing leader for decades. And all we're really doing is keeping up to date with the latest and greatest methods of control. So once you have all it takes is a little bit of research and upkeep to maintain of how we're going to do it. So our technology partners that we're dealing with are industry standard leaders to make sure we're providing not just one piece, but a total solution. And so that's going to be, available to, our dealer resources to have that.
Awesome. Thank you for taking a few moments out of your day to answer these protocol questions for me. If anyone in the CE Pro world wants to know more about American Lighting, they can go to where, Jordan?
You can go to americanlighting.com.
Thank you. And for more on lighting, please go to cepro.com. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Bob. Always great to talk.
Thank you.